The Kasanovians. Yes, the Kasanovians. Just finished up at Muay Thai here in Bangkok. I don't know if anybody's ever tried this before, but here in Bangkok, what we do is we add coffee to orange, and it creates this thing called orange coffee. The first time I heard about it, I was like, that's fucking weird. Like, why would you add those two substances together? But since I started knocking them back, it's changed my life. And in this stream, I want to talk to you about something which is very related to the orange coffee. If you've got no idea who I am, welcome to paradise. My name's Kristian, and I basically help men explode their dating lives. And I do it without dating apps, without nightclubs, without social circles. So I teach something called daytime cold approach, but not in the fucking weird way of being a low-value pickup artist. I create a very specific system, so it's called anti-game artistry. And throughout this stream, I want to talk to you about a really important concept. And this concept, by watching this video all the way through, will hopefully just give you this epiphanova, this lightning bolt of an idea, a revelation that you can go forward for the rest of your life and just use this. Because something I came to realize about 5 years ago when I was first embarking on this journey of wanting to improve myself, wanting to get better with women. You know, back then I was a porn addict, had erectile dysfunction. Even if I did get women back to my place, I couldn't get my boner on point. So I spent the rest of the night crying into my heart-shaped pillow. And then I'd go on Reddit finding out how to overcome erectile dysfunction. So it wasn't a pretty time to be me. But through many years of trial and error, I eventually got through to the other side. So now I'm in a beautiful, loving relationship with a wife-worthy woman. I cracked the cold approach cheat code. Now it feels like I'm living life on cheat mode. And I now dedicate my life to helping other guys who are in a similar position to me live and build rockstar dating lives without nightclubs, social circles, or alcohol-infused nights out. I'm easily the best in the world at what I do. If you don't believe me, just go on to YouTube, type in Kristian Kasanova testimonials. I'm the only one in this industry who's got an official testimonials page. Also, the link below this video will take you to my website. It's basically a landing page where I attempt to sell you shit. But you can see all the testimonials there. I've got testimonials coming out my ass. Because I understand, there's a lot of, we kind of live in this trust recession at the moment where you don't know who to believe. But I walk the walk and I also talk the talk as well. So if you're somebody at the moment and you feel pissed off, you've got so much theory going through your mind, like dirty laundry in a dirty tumble dryer, you're capable of more. You want to live a rock star dating life. You want dates on demand with wife-worthy women. And maybe you want to be connected with me and a network of overachieving Renaissance warriors. Yeah, maybe you've got to a point in your life where you're like, do you know what? I'm ready to take massive action. Yeah, I want to make a serious change. I understand there's a world going on out there and I want to be an active player rather than a static spectator. Maybe you've got a lot of doubt and hesitation like I did at the start. Maybe you feel as though you're not good looking enough. Maybe you feel as though cold approach can't work for you. Maybe you feel as though you're too old. Maybe you think you're too short. Maybe you think cold approach is harder for someone like you. Maybe no matter what you do, you just keep hitting invisible walls when it comes to women. Like, I've been through all of that. Again, go over to Kristian Kasanova testimonials. Hopefully you'll be able to hear stories that resonate with you. Because, dude, I've worked with an amalgamation of so many different guys from so many different backgrounds. I've worked with Indian guys, black guys, Japanese guys who thought they were too old. Yeah, guys in their 50s. Guys in their early 20s who thought they were too young. Entrepreneurs, business owners, busy professionals, doctors, lawyers, surgeons. I work with so many guys. And I feel as though the biggest problem that I see is a lot of the guys who I work with, and you might be one of these guys as well, you realize the majority of the dating advice online is complete horseshit. Like utter stinky trollop. Yeah? And the reason that it's so bad is because it focuses on the wrong thing, okay? It focuses on addition. Yeah, it focuses on what can you add to your character in order to become more appealing to women. And this is a recipe for disaster. It's a reason why old school pickup advice just doesn't work, right? Because old school pickup advice taught men how they could pretend, how they can masquerade as this high value man. It was a 10-minute sales pitch. Throw in all of these DHV or demonstration of high value stories. Pretend to be someone you're not. Pretend you've got the imaginary lats or the barrel between your legs like fucking John Wayne. Posture, pretend, perform. And hopefully, women will like you. And the scary part about this is that it actually works. It actually works. Pretending can actually work. But the issue is, it's a 10-minute sales pitch, okay? Eventually the mask slips. Eventually she realizes it wasn't you that she fell for. It was an idea of you. And this is why I think a lot of people fall into relationships with strangers, And it's not just the fault of men. I think if you think about a first date, both parties are attempting to present their best selves. And I do understand this, and I did this for years. But the way that I approach dating, the way that I approach relationships is just lead with the warts, Lead with your most radically honest self. The whole system that I created, it's called anti-game artistry. And the way it works is so simple. It's attraction through subtraction, okay? So rather than trying to add fake confidence, rather than trying to build more muscle, make more money, rather than trying to memorize the stories, the routines, rather than trying to posture and perform. Instead, what I do with my clients when we work together one-on-one is we simply remove everything that isn't them. In the same way that when Michelangelo was asked how he carved the statue of David, he responded, I just removed everything that wasn't David. So when I'm working with my guys one-on-one in the field, I don't do any group coaching bollocks. You are an individual. You've got your own unique sticking points, your own unique problems. So when I work with my guys one-on-one in the field, I listen in to their conversation. So one approach with me is worth around 30 approaches on your own. And I'll just say it to you straight as well, because this is what I say. When guys book in application calls, when they're interested in working with me, the thing that I say to them is, okay, dude, I'll just be straight with you, because the way that I coach, it's just very no bullshit. Attempting to do cold approach all on your own in 2025 is fucking stupid, right? And I hope that triggers you. I hope you've got your fingers over the keyboard getting ready to berate me and be like, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. You're just trying to sell me shit. But the reality of it is, I got coached 6 months after I started, and I spent a decade as a magician, right? I was a magician for 10 fucking years. And I understood when I first started cold approach in Leeds in 2020 during the pandemic, I understood this was an elite level skill. It's like the jiu-jitsu of social mastery. I understood I didn't know what I didn't know. So I started getting coached 6 months into my journey. I still collaborate with my original coach to this day, continuing to refine the skill. And the guys who are in my private network, the entourage, dude, we've got guys in my network who were Hollywood actors. I've got another guy who spent a decade working in nightlife, who wasn't short of romantic options, but he just didn't know how to transfer the skill of nighttime into daytime. I work with guys who are not short of romantic options. They've got the body, they've got the money, they've got the lifestyle. But the things that they were missing was accountability, brotherhood, feedback, no bullshit feedback. So the point of the matter is, I don't really give a flying fuck if you decide to work with me, but what you really want to do, especially in 2025, is understand cold approach is not a solo sport. This is what one of our entourage members, Joseph, once said. He said, cold approach is not a solo sport. It's a team sport, and it's also an extreme sport. And the thing that we really focus on in the entourage is this notion of repulsion. Okay, so whilst 99% of the men's dating sphere will focus on addition, add this, add more of that, get your eyebrows threaded. Whilst all these morons do whatever they do, inside the entourage, what we're focused on is being repulsive. Not in some vulgar, obnoxious way, But it simply means removing all the bullshit, removing the facades, and leading with authenticity. Yeah, saying to the world, this is me, take it or leave it. The same way that when guys book in sales calls with me, if they're interested in working with me, and I tell them how expensive my program is, I don't try and justify it, right? If their eyes are watering by the price, I'm just sitting back, smoking my pretend cigar, because I understand for the right people how valuable that is. Yeah, so I'm not trying to convince people anymore. I'm not trying to appease the masses. Instead, I'm focused in on my people in the same way that the dating game is not about being everything to everybody. It's trying to be the right somebody for the right somebodies. Simple exercise that I'd get you to do is just write down everything that's fucking weird about you, because your weirdness is what sells. Yeah, if you're creating a personal brand on YouTube, you want to make internet money, you want to build an international lifestyle, you want people to pay you for your knowledge, then you can't afford to be vanilla, right? If everybody likes you, you're a wet wipe, you're not living, you're hiding, right? The game's changed in 2025. It's not about being a little snowflake. It's not about trying to fit in and, be fucking boring, trying to play it safe. And that's why Daytime Approach, it's not for normal guys. Daytime Approach, it appeals to a specific archetype, to a specific individual. Yeah, if you're anything like me, you're probably a little bit weird. You're probably a little bit fucked in the head. You probably enjoy the more obscure side of life. Like, I don't know if you ever watched The Simpsons. My favorite character was Bumblebee, man. He was just weird. He was just there. He was just kind of stupid. But when I became a magician at 13 years old. I saw that as my first ever calling to live the obscure side of life. And I really do see Daytime Approach as the most aggressive form of self-development. Yeah, you can go to jiu-jitsu. Yeah, you can go to Muay Thai like I do. Yeah, you can live international. Yeah, you can go to the gym. All that stuff's great. You can do your red light therapy. But getting out there in the field, dive bombing into discomfort, running towards resistance like your life depends on it, and showing up as you are rather than as you think the world wants you to be, this is how we win. Yeah, it's not trying to be attractive. It's focused on being repulsive. Let me tell you a quick story. The way I lost my virginity. So I lost my virginity at 18 years old. I was very much a late bloomer, right? Like, social skills never came natural. It's not that I was unpopular at school. I was just completely irrelevant. If you ask any of the people who went to school with me, do you remember Kristian? They'd probably be like, who? I was just this weird, shy, very introverted kid. I'd walk around on my own in the playground. I'd hide in the toilets if we had longer break times. I didn't want to be seen on my own. Do you know what I mean? Like, even the teachers thought I was fucking weird. So I'd just be like wandering around on my own. I'd look at the other kids in the playground and be like, how are these kids doing it? They're interacting with each other. The boys are talking to the girls. I was always the last kid to get picked on any sports team. I was just weird, right? And I always thought that my weirdness was a curse. And I went through that stage of trying to fit in, of trying to, do what I thought the world needed me to do. And I remember when I got to university, so I went to the University of Liverpool, I studied English literature. I think the first thing that I ever fell in love with was words. Yeah, if you watch a lot of my content, you'll know that I've got this insatiable appetite for vocabulary. I love it. Phrases like getting dates on demand with wife-worthy women, approaching on autopilot, dive bombing into discomfort. I love alliteration. I love how words are pieced together, because really, words are the bedrock of everything. Do you know what I mean? Words are the bedrock of everything. I'm speaking to you right now, presidential speeches, movies. It's all the words that we use to captivate, to enchant. Anyway, when I went to university, I saw university as a way of recreating myself. Do you know what I mean? I went from my small hometown in the Lake District of 60,000 people, Barrow-in-Furness, by the way. If you've ever been there, you're probably lost. And I went to the University of Liverpool, and I felt so out of my depth on that first day. I remember my mum dropped me off at my halls of residence, and I walked into my room. There was, I think, 15 other people on my corridor. And I remember sitting in my room with my mum. I remember this moment so vividly. I was sat on my bed, and I just burst out in tears. And she was like, what's the matter? I was like, Mum, I remember the exact words. I said to her, I just don't feel confident right now. There was other people in my halls of residence. They were all sat in the kitchen. They were all communicating with each other. And it felt like some PTSD moment. I felt like I was back in the playground again. Like, in my mind, oh, all these people, they're talking to each other. They've only just met. They're probably, starting to socially orchestrate and synchronize their schedules. And here I am in my bedroom crying to my fucking mum that I don't feel confident. And it was like this big moment in my life, because I remember my mum saying to me, look, if you don't want to stay here, I'll take you back home. And I really do see that as a defining moment in my life. Because I think if I'd have gone back home to the Lake District, I would have probably got a job in the submarine factory. That's where all my family work, in the submarine factory. I'm like the black sheep of the family. Do you know what I mean? Like, being a magician, doing what I do now, traveling the world, cold approaching. It's like no one in my family's ever done this, right? And it's like the decision that I made then, I was like, nah, I don't want to go home. I know that, I'm meant for more. So, I said bye-bye to my mum. I walked into that kitchen and I just sat there like a fucking lemon. I just didn't know how to interact. Like at this point in my life, I'd never even been drunk before. And obviously the alcohol was coming out. Then we started playing this game where you had to talk about your craziest sex story. If you've been to uni, you know what it is. And I was just finding myself making shit up. Like, you had to take a drink if you'd ever had sex in a car. I took a drink, I'm thinking, I ain't had sex anywhere. And it was just this awful experience at the start. But I remember 2 months into my university career, I remember just going to nightclubs for the first time. This guy who was living with me looked at me. He was like, you don't know what you're doing, do you? I'm like, no shit, dude. I've never even been drunk in my life. Now I'm at this fucking neon infected nightclub with all these fucking degenerates. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm out my depth. I want to go home. I want my mum. But anyway, 2 months in, I popped my cherry. I had sex for the first time. And this was with my first girlfriend. But the way that I met my first girlfriend, it completely shifted my paradigm on how to actually attract women. And I almost lost sight of this, but now it makes sense that the system that I teach, anti-game artistry, it was kind of born in that moment. Because I remember I walked into one of my friend's halls of residence. Yes, I actually made a friend. So he invited me to this house party. I walked in, and then we were talking for a little while. And all of a sudden, there was this mighty thump. The door swung open, and this absolute beauty, this absolute goddess, just entered the room. And she was so angry because we were making so much noise. And she was like, what the fuck is going on? Why are you making so much noise? I'm trying to sleep. I've got an early lecture tomorrow. I remember connecting with her, eye contact. I never did this before. I looked at her. I was just like, oi, calm down. What's wrong? And then I brought her over. Again, very uncharacteristic. I was like, listen, I get it. I've currently got freshers flu. I can't stop shitting myself. However, you look angry right now, so let's have a thumb war. And it was just weird. All of a sudden, her emotions got diffused. We were having this thumb war, and I could see this, almost like this spark in her eye, where it was like, it felt to me like she actually liked me. So we were having a thumb war, and I continued just talking about ludicrous topics, just talking about shitting myself, feeling as though, okay, I felt as though I was finished, but I had to get back, like my guts were just falling out, and she was just lapping it up. And then, because back then as well, like when I was at university, I really looked horrific. I did actually look like a turnip. I dressed terrible. I didn't know what I didn't know, right? But this girl that I had the thumb war with, she became my first girlfriend. It took us a few times to actually seal the deal, because then I was struggling with my old erectile dysfunction. But anyway, she was supportive. She was, very nurturing and caring towards me. But on paper, this was a girl that I should never have got, right? I wasn't the college jock. I wasn't in great shape. My social skills were decent because I spent a decade being a magician, but, knowing how to pull a fucking rabbit out of a hat doesn't translate to intersexual dynamics as well as I thought it would. Yeah, I didn't dress very well. I wasn't popular. I didn't have any of these things that, the red pill community would tell me, oh, I need to have all these things. Instead, the way that I really enchanted and attracted this girl was just through sheer ZFG, zero fucks given, right? It was just the removal of all the unnecessary. I wasn't in my head thinking, right, I need to posture a certain way. I need to show her my social media. I need to now introduce her to my friends to show that I've got a thriving social circle. No, it was refreshing for her that I just wasn't trying hard. And in that moment, I realized, yeah, okay, it's great to have all these things. It really is. I want to be the most fuckable version of myself. Building my body, going some Muay Thai, traveling the world, making great money so I can take care of the people who I care. All of that stuff's amazing. But really at the core, the thing that penetrates right through is radical authenticity, is repulsion, is the removal of the unnecessary. And this was a continuing theme for me. I was a lifeguard in America in 2017. I remember getting to America. Again, I felt a little bit out of my depth there. And one of the days that I was working on my little lifeguarding post, this car drove in to the camp. And out of the car was revealed another absolute goddess, right? The type of girl that turned heads, right? She got out of the car. She was late to the camp, but she'd worked there for quite a long time. And I saw all of the guys look at her as soon as she got out of the car. You know how guys do, like look at her and pretend they're not looking, then kind of like dig the mate in the ribs, be like, oh, have you seen her? And like all the guys at the camp were absolutely drooling over her. And because it was quite a tight-knit camp, you know, I could hear interactions between them and her. And it's like just how everybody was sort of presenting themselves to the girl, like trying to be cool. Do you know what I mean? Like trying to be alpha, trying to lead with their best metrics. I remember we spent some good time together because during the camp we had a lot of days off. So I think it was every Wednesday was like trip day. So we could go and we could spend time. Anyway, I ended up getting really close with this girl. And again, I wasn't posturing. I don't even know what I was doing. I was just detached. I was just non-needy. It was really like I could take it or leave it. And just being in this place, like, you know, we actually ended up like getting together during this beautiful summer romance. But the point being again is I wasn't trying hard. Like I wasn't trying to posture. I wasn't trying to think, okay, what do I need to do to get this girl to like me? I was just leading with radical authenticity, just talking about random shit. You're not trying hard. And when I work with my guys in the field, oftentimes, you know, I'll be listening to their cold approach conversations and they just feel very generic, very carbon copy, very boring. And if you've seen any of my infield footage online, you'll see my conversations are very off the wall. They're very polarizing. They're very nonsensical. And, you know, guys will watch my stuff and it really divides people, right? On one side, I'll get guys who absolutely fucking love my approach to approach him. And then I'll get other guys who are like, nah, this is weird. This is too much. And it's like, yeah, I am too much. And that's the whole fucking point. Because by not holding back and just by presenting myself as I am at the start, the right women are going to be stampeding towards me and the wrong ones are going to get repelled. And this is really my thesis when it comes to the game of attraction. It's attraction through subtraction. And when I'm working with my guys, we're really focusing in on what makes them unique. Like what is their edge? What is their, you know, the thing about them that's going to attract their people and repel the rest. Because I think that's what this game is about. It's just about being weird, whatever weird means to you. Because I think when you do that, you're not playing pretense anymore. And, you know, I'm in a relationship right now. But if this relationship ever turns to dust, one of the greatest things that could ever happen to me is I end up on future dates with women who've watched and binged all of my content. Because, you know, I say shit on these streams that most guys would never talk about. Like I really go deep. Yeah? I really talk about my insecurities. I talk about my past. I talk about having erectile dysfunction. I talk about the things that I used to be insecure about. You know, I used to be a porn addict. I used to compare my schlong to other schlongs and think, oh wow, mine's fucking tiny. I used to be insecure about my nose. I looked like a fucking pelican. I went through seasons of my life where I was like, I'm just not good looking enough. I, you know, suffered many a dark night of the soul if I was consuming too much content, going down the red pill rabbit hole or the black pill rabbit hole. I posted content on YouTube in 2020. Guys would tell me that I was ugly. I was a 4 out of 10 at best. One guy said I looked like a mix between SpongeBob and Mr. Bean. No, Patrick from SpongeBob and Mr. Bean. Like, all of that shit. And, you know, when I work with my guys, I realize how much programming they've suffered, right? They've just got so much bullshit going through their minds. And really, I'm just giving them permission to be who they are, you know? So the way that my coaching works is simple. You work with me one-to-one. Remember, I don't do any group coaching bollocks. You work with me one-to-one. I install my anti-game artistry system into you within a couple of days. I just give you everything that you need. Do you know what I mean? If you're banging your head against a brick wall, if you actually, because what's interesting is I don't teach you how cold approach works. Right? This is what a lot of guys in the cold approach space do. They're teaching you how cold approach works. I don't do that. What I do is I teach you how you can become the version of yourself who cold approach can work for. That's why one-to-one's important. So we work together, one-to-one, in the fields. Yes, you'll be working with me, not some bozo coach you never fucking heard of. You work with me one-to-one in the field. I give you everything you need. Again, go on Kristian Kasanova testimonials. You can see a handful of guys who've worked with me. You can hear about their experiences. So I'm not some bozo charlatan. But the in-person coaching is just the start of everything, okay? So once we've completed our in-person coaching, you then get access to probably the thing that I'm the most proud of in my entire life, which is the entourage. Yeah, the entourage is my private community for my clients. Yeah, so all my private coaching clients get access to this community. And the entourage, in my opinion, is the greatest thing that's ever been introduced to the cold approach community. Because before me, everyone was just giving coaching. Nobody was offering coaching combined with community. And now every man and his dog does it, right? If you hear other coaches talking about, oh, you'll do an immersion and then you'll join a community. It's like, yeah, I introduced this into the space. No one ever did it like I'm doing it, right? So I created the entourage. And what the entourage is it's basically your cheat code through life, right? You'll get connected with guys who get it, like-minded guys who, yes, they are pushing the skill of cold approach to an elite level, but it's not just cold approach that we talk about. We talk about business, art, philosophy. We bounce ideas. We're really pioneering this space, like pushing the game forward. And I never want it to happen where somebody completes an in-person coaching with me and it's like, okay, what now? What happens after the training? So after the training, after the in-person coaching with me, you get invited into the entourage, okay? So that means weekly group coaching calls, access to our private WhatsApp accountability group. So it's like having wingmen in your pocket around the clock. So whenever you've got questions, whenever you're struggling with anything, we're there to guide you, to support you, right? No one gets left behind. And we also run 5-day Renaissance retreats as well. It's just so fucking awesome, dude. So our guys get in-person coaching with me. They get access to our private community. And then throughout the year, we host 5-day Renaissance retreats. And these retreats are designed to allow our guys to deepen their transformation alongside other like-minded guys. Type in Kristian Kasanova, Barcelona. We had a Renaissance retreat at the start of this year. All of our guys flew out. It's absolutely awesome. We've had other guys meet up as well that have these spontaneous retreats. We had some guys over in Belgrade, some other guys in Barcelona the other month. Guys are now meeting up in Manchester, in London. It's kind of like the best way that I can describe the entourage. It's like Soho House mixed with Fight Club, right? Soho House mixed with Fight Club. It's like a private members club for mavericks, renegades, guys who are doing well in life, but want to be doing better. You know what I mean? It's like they want to go from great to fucking outstanding. And we've designed the entourage in such a way, it's impossible for our guys not to succeed. Yeah, so if you actually want to master the skill of daytime approach, you're sick of doing it on your own, you want community, you want like-minded guys, you want to get connected with me, travel around the world with me, join the fucking calls, like it's all here, right? It's the most comprehensive, results-driven program that's ever been introduced to this space. And that's why I get the results that I do, because I leave no stone unturned, right? Any problem that you might be facing right now, I've got a solution for it, because I've worked with so many guys. Again, Kristian Kasanova testimonials, go and consume that shit. Like, all that this comes down to, if you want to attract hotter women in 2025, amplify your authenticity, right? Amplify what's authentic to you. If you've not done this already, at the bottom of the description, you'll be able to download my free courses. And one of those courses is called my Most Fuckable Man course. And then there's a module in that, and it's called the Fuckable Persona. And essentially, I use the archetype of Christian Grey from 50 Shades of Grey to explain this concept that I'm teaching here even deeper. So how you can differentiate yourself from every other guy. Because this is an issue that a lot of guys face, is like, they almost see daytime approach as this gimmick. It's like, oh, but what if she's already been approached? You know, in a big city like London, where there's a decent amount of guys approaching, many of whom are entourage members, you know, a common question is, yeah, but what if she's already been approached? And it's like, no, young Padawan. She's just not been approached by you, right? It's not this gimmick. It's not this, you know, do it once and that's it. Like, for the right woman, your approach will mean everything. And that's why rejection is important as well. A lot of guys fear rejection. I understand it. It's normal. Like, no one wants to be rejected. It's like a kick in the fucking bollocks. But rejection is important because when you're approaching through the system that I created, remember, it's attraction through subtraction, rejection is necessary because it's a filtering system. So when our guys walk over to women and they're like, hey, you look incredible, you look so good, you look fucking amazing, it's within those first 3 seconds that they're identifying if she's their woman. Yeah, they're not trying to waste time on maybe girls. If you're a busy guy, if you live in a busy lifestyle, if you've got 1,000,001 things on your to-do list, you don't have time to be wasting energy on women who were never meant for you. So that's why this is the most efficient system. You go over, you deliver your truth, and you find out if she's your woman. And I think that's what it's about. For me anyway, I'm not saying that, you need to follow my advice to a T. I think it's good to reject anything from your reality that doesn't resonate with you. If you have watched this stream, you're thinking, I don't like this guy, he's obnoxious, he's an arsehole, I'm gonna dislike his live stream because why not? Then it means I've done my job well. Again, like we said at the start, if everybody likes you, you're not living, you're hiding, right? So maybe like me as well, maybe you wanna start making videos on YouTube. Great, be weird, project who you actually are. Don't be vanilla, don't be boring. Yeah, if you go out today and you do your approaches, just lead with radical, lethal authenticity. Stop hiding behind these lukewarm, passive compliments like, oh, you look nice, you look quite cute, oh, I like your dress. No, just go in there. You look fucking amazing. I want to take you out on a date. Let's go to the Shard together. There's the main video on my channel. It's I approached 33 girls in London. That is basically the greatest anti-game artistry video ever created. Yeah, because it shows you in real time that you don't need game. All this random shit that people are selling, like, oh, you need to lux max, you need to chew a tennis ball to get your jaw nicer, you need to make lots of money. It's like, yeah, cool. There's a time and place for that shit. But really what you need is anti-game, right? You need to get so comfortable in who you are. And a really easy way to do this as well, and this is what I do like every single day. Like I'm not affiliated with any major religion, but I do believe in the concept of the divine. I think all religion should be a bridge which take us closer to the divine. I don't think that religion should be concerned with historical facts, like did Jesus walk on water or did the Buddha really exist? I think it's, do these teachings serve me? Do these teachings allow me to operate in a higher stream of consciousness? And I really see that being in a high frequency state at the start of a day is the cheat code for being able to connect with your most authentic self. So what that looks like in plain fucking English is I wake up, I train Muay Thai. I just go to the Muay Thai gym, I sweat my bollocks off, I remove all the bullshit, the avalanche of anxiety, all the stuff that I think is quite normal at the start of a day. If you're anything like me, I don't wake up in the best of moods. I think scientifically it's because our brains are depleted of oxygen. And what I used to do was just scroll on my phone, wank myself off into a sock, watch a little bit of porn, feel sorry for myself, and then commute to my dead-end job for fucking minimum wage. But what I do now is I wake up, I get a good sweat on. Do you know what I mean? I get myself into this high frequency state. You might do that by training martial arts, going to the gym, sprinting up hills, dancing around your apartment, having a nice coffee and just dancing to some good fucking house music, watching The Simpsons and looking at Bumblebee, man. But getting into a high frequency state at the start of the day, what you'll quickly realize is state beats technique. Yeah, like if you want the actual like tactical things like conversation skills, go download my free course. It's called Conversation Killer. All my courses are free, by the way, right? I give away information and I charge a lot of money for implementation because I understand information is not that valuable, right? You can watch a video like this and feel motivated for a couple of seconds and then a year goes by and nothing's fucking changed, right? So information is not valuable. Implementation is. And you can do a lot in a short amount of time. Change happens fast. If you're in a car accident, your life is never the same again. It's a split-second thing, right? In the same way that if you went out today and you just did 10 direct cold approaches, not worry about getting phone numbers, dates, happy endings, understanding the rep is the reward, understanding that the right women are going to fucking love you, the wrong women are going to get repelled. All you need to focus on is the open. All you need to focus on is the first 3 seconds, getting her to stop, making solid eye contact, delivering a hard-hitting compliment. But if you want the actual tactical things of conversation skills, download Conversation Killer. Just download both my free courses, but Conversation Killer is like the full conversational playbook. Yeah, it's completely free, so you might as well get it. If you're someone who struggles with conversation skills, then I created that course really for the beginners because my ideal reality is I want guys to apply to work with me when they've already got the basic foundations in place. Do you know what I mean? Like my coaching is not for excuse makers or action avoiders. It's not for fat, lazy slobs who want to cry and complain and think that, you know, I'm not offering magic bullets. I'm not offering quick fix solutions. I say to guys on sales calls, listen, dude, you need to be fully committed to this because this is going to be the hardest thing that you're ever going to do. Yeah, I'm with you every step of the way, but there's no fucking guarantees. And high achieving guys know this, right? There's no guarantees, right? If a guy's like, oh, I want to get a girlfriend in a fucking week, I can't guarantee that. I can't guarantee that. But what I can guarantee is support, is accountability, introducing you to guys who can push you, hold you to an elite standard. But at the end of the day, a personal trainer can't lift the weight for you. I could have the best personal trainer in the world, but if I decide to stuff my face with Krispy Kremes at midnight on a rainy Tuesday, that's on me, right? That's on me. So there's no guarantees with what I do. And the best guys know that. They understand there's no guarantees. They understand they will get out what they're prepared to put in. That's the whole point of this. You'll get out what you're prepared to put in. I found the more money you spend, the more committed you are, right? That's what I found. I've invested over $100,000 now into my own self-education. The more money I spend, the more committed I am. Yeah, you paid $2 for something, you don't give a fuck. Right? That's why free content's not valuable, because it's like, oh, cool, didn't pay anything for this. But you burn the boats. Yeah, so, you know, it's an interesting thing because I'm not providing magic bullets, quick fix solutions. I make guys aware this is a complete overhaul of your current character, because what you've done up to this point has got you to where you are right now. So if you're not happy, like I wasn't happy 5 years ago, I was not happy with the money I was making, the life that I was living, the women I was able to attract once in a blue moon. I wasn't happy. I was pissed off. But I knew that no one else was coming to save me. I knew if I wanted to make a change, then I needed to do something about it. Yeah. So it wasn't a case of, I will do my best. No, Kristian, because your best is not good enough. Your best right now has got you into this grotty apartment in Leeds, which is infected by cockroaches, working at the National Railway Museum, giving public speeches to 60-year-olds. That's what your best is right now. So what I had to do was, I had to metaphorically crucify my current character and evolve into a completely new version of myself that was already there. He was just buried beneath excuses and social conditioning and bullshit that was fed to me. A lot of it by myself. I take responsibility, and that's what you want to do as well. But if you can understand this, that the place that you're at in your life right now, you know, that's decisions that you've made. And the good news is you can make a decision right now to change that. That's what I did 5 years ago. I looked at my life, I was like, right, I want more for myself. I know that I'm playing it safe. I know that I'm playing small. I was in a relationship, a long-term relationship, and I decided to call off that relationship. Yeah, this was 2020, and it was the first time in my life that I'd ever broken up with anybody. I watched a video on YouTube of a guy approaching women in Barcelona, and I was like, you know what, I could do that. So I called time on that relationship, and I've dedicated pretty much every second of my life for the past 5 years becoming the most fuckable version of myself. But I think just deeper than that for me, helping other guys completely transform. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not a dating coach. I'm not a day gamer. I'm not a cold approacher. Like, what I am is a freedom from bullshit practitioner, right? This is not about just your dating life. This is a complete identity renaissance, a complete transformation. Yeah, if you're looking for true transformation, like radical transformation, if you know you're capable of more, if you want to be held to an elite standard, if you're ready to just be like, you know what, fuck it, I'm all in with this. I'm not gonna do my best. I'm gonna do what's necessary. I want to be pushed. I want to be elevated. I want to get around this type of energy. Do you know what I mean? This action taker aura. Then that's what I put these videos out for. It's content marketing, right? This video is basically an ad, because I know what I'm sat on right now is absolute fucking gold dust. The lives that I've changed, the connections that I've made, the doors that it's opened for me. You know, I speak with my guys in the entourage every day, and we've got our WhatsApp group, and you know, guys are posting wins, guys are fucking buying properties together, guys are traveling the world together. And sometimes I take a step back, I'm like, you know what, Kristian, you fucking built that, dude. You fucking built that. And it's like, you know, the decisions that I make now, I'm not just making these decisions for me, right? I'm making these decisions for my future family, for my future fucking wife, for the scared little boy inside of me who wasn't cool and calm and confident. You're not just doing it for you. Yeah, like when you're out there approaching and you've got approach anxiety, you've got resistance, you're like, oh, she looks busy, she looks bitchy, just like she might have a boyfriend. It's like Nietzsche said, he who has a strong enough why can bear any how. So if you know when you're out there in the field, you're not just doing it for you, you're doing it for your future family, you're doing it for your future wife, you're doing it to like completely transform yourself. You're doing it as a two middle finger salute to a society that wants to keep you shackled. Yeah, oh, be a good boy, working 9 to 5, ask for permission when you're allowed to go for a shit. It's like, no, fuck that. Every time you approach that girl, even if the approach goes bad, you're saying to society, I refuse to be programmed. I refuse to settle. I am an active player now rather than a static spectator. So go out today, do some approaches, watch my content, download my free shit, binge watch this content. And when you are ready to pull the trigger, when you want me to just install the system that's already worked for over 200 guys, you're ready to take this to an elite level, you want to get surrounded by this energy on a daily basis, positively brainwash yourself so approaching becomes a piece of piss, you know where I am. There's a link below this video. It'll take you to my website. Go listen to my testimonials, Kristian Kasanova testimonials page. If you haven't tried orange coffee yet, try it. Because it's fucking amazing. But yeah, I think just the message of this video, really, if I can boil it down to its essence, it just be weird. Yeah, amplify your authenticity. Yeah, if people don't like you, if people think you're weird, if people are like, oh, there's something about this guy I don't like, fuck them. Fuck them. Because in 100 years time, none of this is going to matter. It's all going to be space, dust and ashes. Everything's forgettable as well. So yeah, go out there, live a life beyond the beige. Don't die with your music still inside of you. If you've enjoyed this video, my name's Kristian Kasanova. If you've not enjoyed this video, my name's still the same. But yeah, feel free to dislike this video if you don't like me, unsubscribe. You might as well download my free courses though, because they're pretty good. All right, boys, listen, I love you very much. I'll speak to you again soon. More great shit coming on the way. I'll be back in Europe as well. I'll be back in Europe soon. So if you are interested in getting in-person coaching with me in London, then hit me up. You know where I am. I'm here, waiting for you. Behind the screen, waiting. Still waiting. You still not clicked that link yet? Come on, dude. Come on, yeah, your fingers there. Ah, maybe you clicked it, maybe you didn't. Sounded like I just had a gasm. Anyway, boys, listen, love yous. Bye.